We're coming to you live where ICE agents are conducting a raid on a produce farm, arresting several undocumented workers.
ICE resumes immigration raids at hotels, farms, and restaurants. This is only 5 days after President Trump stated that he was going to put an immediate stop to these raids at farms, restaurants, and hotels. The Department of Homeland Security stated that they are continuing these raids again at hotels, restaurants, and farms because they have a quota to meet. They are currently at 2,000 arrests per day when they should be hitting a quota of 3,000 arrests per day. Now, can their aggressive approach to all these arrests be the reason why they are accidentally arresting American-born citizens? Just today in Pico Rivera, outside of a Walmart, an American-born citizen was detained by ICE. Even after he identified himself and multiple people kept telling ICE agents that he was an American-born citizen, he was still arrested by ICE. And this is not the first case. There has been multiple cases where people are being racially profiled while they're just walking down the street and being detained by ICE just because they look Latino, many of them being American-born. Trump has stated in the past that he was only going to go after violent criminal immigrants, but it only took him 5 days to go back on his word.
Who's even running this country? Because it sure ain't Trump. First, they paused worksite raids at farms and hotels. Now, they're back in full force. Why? Turns out DHS needs to hit 3,000 arrests a day, so they're rolling in, rounding up workers at farms, hotels, and restaurants like it's a job fair nobody signed up for. So much for that moratorium on raids. It barely lasted. And let's talk about that quota. Why does ICE have a daily deportation target like it's a rewards program? And wasn't ICE supposedly broke, running out of money? This isn't just a policy change. It's a full-blown whiplash. What can you do? Spread the word. People need to know what's coming. Stay informed. Follow sources that track enforcement changes. Support immigrant rights groups. They're the ones fighting back. Because it's happening fast, and we need to stay ahead of it. Welcome to the real America. Folks, we're the mess writes itself. Stay tuned, because this drama, it's just getting started.
Wonder shall never cease in America. Seems it's surprise after surprise. No time for breathing. Anyway, greetings everybody. Just days after promising to ease the pressure on America's workforce, Donald Trump has now taken a sharp U-turn, authorizing ICE raids in farms, hotels, and restaurants. For many, this isn't just a political decision. It's a direct hit to their livelihoods, families, and communities. So the big question today is, how can Trump claim to rebuild the economy while tearing apart the very workforce that holds it up? Let's get to see the people's reaction. Then we come back with a complete analysis about this topic. And if you're new here, kindly consider subscribing so you never miss any update from my videos. Let's dive into it.
How you going to run a country when you flip-flop harder than a fish on a dock? Last week, Trump said he was going to exempt hospitality and farm workers from ICE raids. You know, the people who literally keep the country fed and who keep our hotels running. He already reversed his decision, y'all. As of Monday, ICE agents were told to ignore that guidance and go back to doing those raids on those locations. So again, he is backtracking like he always does. Says one thing to sound reasonable, then pulls it back when he hears the loudest person yelling in his base. And I'm sitting here wondering, how are businesses supposed to function like this? How do you run a restaurant, a hotel, or a farm when week to week you don't know if you're going to have workers? That's next to impossible. The funniest part is the people who voted for this, they thought really this would make America great again. I'm trying to figure out what's great about chaos. What's great about fear and instability? What's so great about punishing the workers that are doing the jobs that most Americans don't want to do anyway? Trump ain't delivering greatness. He's delivering confusion. And at this point, he's not making it great. He's just making it harder to function.
Now, for those of us who heard this, we felt some type of way. These 3 locations are almost guaranteed to be harboring illegal immigrants. Well, turns out that they're all back in session now. So there is no place to hide if you are here illegally. I would suggest self-deporting like the other 1 million plus individuals already have, and coming here the right way Because if they have to find you and send you back, that means you will likely never return. You will probably never have a chance to come back here ever again. So again, if you're in a restaurant, if you're on that farm, or in a hotel, it's fair game. We're back in action. Home Depot, always been fair game.
Well, members of the African Kingdom, Taco Trump always chickens out. He's at it again. He's now backtracking on ICE not being able to target farms, hotels, and restaurants, and he's backing out again, and now he's saying ICE has permission to engage in operations within these industries once again. So he's changing his mind again. Another example of dirty ding-a-ling, dementia Donnie, showing early stages of early onset. We already know he's mentally unfit for office, but another example, he's not meeting his detention numbers, he's not meeting his arrest numbers, and he's not meeting his deportation numbers, so now he's in full-on panic mode. Even though these industries, these economies, members, leaders of these industries and companies and farms and restaurants and hotels begged him to stop these ICE operations, these ICE raids, because these are just undocumented workers trying to make a living. And these businesses don't want to pay American wages. So they thrive on these undocumented migrants. But because Trump can't actually arrest the criminals, the violent criminals that he promised the American citizens that he would, members of the cartel, the unalivers, the rapists, he's not making arrests or deportations of these people, so he's in full-on panic mode. He flip-flops every day. It's another plan. He has no real coherent policy. It's just whatever way the wind blows on that day. He has no plan, and he wants to save face, so he wants to trick the American people into thinking he's actually doing something, even though he's not. And the DHS came out and made a statement and said, we will approach these industries that are harboring violent criminals. They are not safe from our ICE raids. The problem is the farms, the hotels, and the restaurants. They are not the industries that are harboring violent, undocumented migrant criminals. But because you can't find them, you have to try to make an example of organizations and to try to trick the American people into thinking you are actually fucking carrying out your plan, but we all know you're not. So just another example of Quad D losing it, being mentally unfit for office. We already saw another example today at the G7 in which he can't even hold papers, blank papers with just his signature on it. Oh, it's windy. I dropped all the papers and now I can't bend over. He's mentally unfit. He's physically unfit. He has no plan for mass deportation. It's all a farce. So now he's trying to attack farms, restaurants, and hotels again because he doesn't have the numbers. ICE is going broke. There's no plan. Just another example of MAGA's being lied to. You love being lied to. You love this inefficient, corrupt administration, and I have no idea why.
For what has given immigrants hope the past few days, all of a sudden ICE has been told to go ahead and continue raids on restaurants, hotels, and farms. That, my friend, is flip-flopping like this administration keeps doing on everything. And I'm going to tell you, is that because a lot of his base is mad about what he may have to do when it comes to Israel and Iran? Everybody wants it to be America first, right? Because a lot of his base doesn't want us anywhere near going into another war, a no-war president, the ultimate deal maker, correct? But when it comes to making deals with people here in U.S. soil, it seems like they're never getting followed through on. And now we have people that were getting up and going back to work and feeling excited about life again to get ready to be scared to get yanked out of this country. President Donald Trump isn't no deal maker unless it works for him. But continue to pray for our country and be sure to keep your eye out. Bye.
Look, I understand I'm probably not the best person to speak on this topic because I don't know how to beat around the bush, and I'm just honest. But it just blows my mind how so many people are like, oh my God, I just can't believe people are getting ripped away from their families. This is happening. People are getting deported. When he literally told y'all what his policy was. And it's like everybody is acting surprised doing the, when y'all knew what the fuck it was and y'all went out and voted for the man. And I'm not saying like this is what y'all get, but I'm kind of saying like, yo, like the Hispanic community put this man in office. Y'all were standing with him all the way. And now y'all don't like the way that it's moving. He never said anything about immigration reform. He never said that. He said deportation. He said, I'm trying to get their ass up out of here. When he said make America great again, he meant shipping their asses off wherever the fuck they came from. And I'm not even trying to be mean because I got so many immigrant friends. Their parents are immigrants, but like a lot of y'all voted for bro. And we had these conversations. And it's just so crazy now. Like I got a homie, and he probably gonna see this. He was all for Trump, and he got his wife here and got her papers. And now that her motherfucking family members is getting wrangled up like bulls, they want to speak out and say something like, nigga, what the fuck do you mean?
ICE needs to scale back a little bit with respect to like even worksite raids, right? Yes, that's the other news. Just a few days ago, he said, ICE, you need to pull back on your raids of farmers, hotels, and restaurants. And then a top ICE official actually sent an email to the department heads saying that they need to not conduct worksite raids of those particular industries unless they are investigating something very serious like money laundering or human trafficking or something like that. So yes, there are some contradictions happening right now with respect to the policy decisions. Guys, just know that now is still the time for immigration, particularly naturalization, if you're eligible to free yourself from all of this craziness. If you're eligible for naturalization, make sure that you get it done now. It's a very fast process for naturalization, so get it done if you're eligible for.
So honestly, like, what changed? Was he pissed off that his little birthday parade didn't go well? Well, whatever the reason may be, ICE has officially resumed raiding, targeting migrants in rural areas, undocumented folks staying in hotels, and even hitting places where families live and work. Now, I mean, the timing of this seems suspicious at best. I mean, Trump's little birthday parade, low turnout, terrible press, and millions of people in 20 countries, was it, protesting against him on his birthday. And suddenly the raids are back on. Now, I'm not actually saying that this is the definite reason. It could be also a distraction tactic because, from reports yesterday, he is weighing in heavily on attacking Iranian nuclear sites. Either way, we can come to the conclusion that this is not about national security. It's about control, it's about fear, it's about distraction. If you're not paying attention, you're falling behind.
It's always about black people with me. I don't know if y'all didn't pick that up yet, but it definitely is. And I see everybody talking about the inhumane ways that ICE is attempting to catch people who are here illegally, and me being so close to immigrants, one, from my career to being born to an immigrant, I can tell you that that's not my fight. And the only reason I say that that's not my fight is because I don't want to get riled up about some shit that is indeed inhumane when I can't even get my motherfucking people to get riled up about some shit that been inhumane. The Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan and Joe Biden administration did black people so fucking bad that we don't fucking see that the same shit that ICE is doing has been the same shit that America has been doing. America reminds us every February that black people mean nothing. And black people want to continue to remind us that black people mean nothing. You hear what the fuck I'm saying? From the music to the films to the way that we talk to each other don't mean shit. But now that we see light bodies being round up and thrown in the motherfucking back of a paddy wagon, it's an issue. For black people, it fucks with me how inhumanely we are treated, but how much empathy we lack for one another. What the fuck you mean you on here crying about ICE? Are you okay? They've been separating little black boys from their fucking black daddies for as long as I can remember. Being black in America and having nothing to do is illegal. It's on every motherfucking post you see. And then they say shit like, well, they only here to seek better lives. We did not say that when we seen Daquan outside on the corner to make sure that little Timothy had some motherfucking food and some shoes. Y'all don't say that. Y'all don't say that. They're criminal. Black people are criminal when they're trying to make sure that their kids get what the fuck it is that they need. But everybody else, oh my God, they're just trying to. You think you're going to take your black ass to anybody's country without the right documentation and see what the fuck they do to you. And I never understood when my father used to say, I don't have no motherfucking sympathy for nobody. Because don't nobody have no motherfucking sympathy for me. The problem is we lack empathy. We don't give a fuck about what they do to them boys in them jails. We don't care. You hear what I'm saying? It's people getting online detailing the cruelties that they endure. Grown men fighting for their fucking lives and their ass. We don't give a fuck about that. But Lord, Hector and Jesus done came and they taking their ass back. And we saying this shit is enough is enough. 10 to 1, 10 to 1. They was taking black people from their fucking kids. They had tanks riding down Compton, running them bitches through people's house while their kids was in there. They didn't give a fuck about that. I've never seen an addict know how to whip this shit. No, maybe they didn't know how to whip it. I never seen them know how to put that shit together. I never seen them know how to farm a fucking poppy seed. Ain't that where it come from? I've never seen no shit like that. Black people have been under the boots of motherfucking America for a long time. It's been a chemical war along with a bunch of different other ones. But now that we see people who are closer to whiteness being treated just like black people, it's an issue. And I think that is a problem.
For the black people that see what's going on with the Hispanics, and y'all say we gotta sit this one out, it's not our business. You don't never sit out on having white people back. You don't never sit out on loving them when they don't even need your love. They the ones oppressing you. Make that make sense.
Trump promised to make America great again and revive the economy, but that's not the case. He is not aware that he is doing more harm to the America's economy. Businesses are now grappling with empty shelves, missed deadlines, and rising anxiety among workers who are simply too scared to show up. Farmers, hotel owners, restaurant managers, they are all asking the same thing. How are we supposed to survive like this? Trump vowed to protect American jobs and rebuild the economy. But with this ICE crackdown, he is not just targeting undocumented workers, he is undercutting the very industries that keep America running. For those who voted for him, hoping for economic revival, many are realizing that the price of that promise might just be too high. The fear is real. The damage is real. And as the dust settles, one thing is becoming clear. This isn't making America great again. It's tearing apart. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you found value in what we shared, kindly consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss any update from my videos. Your support truly means a lot and it helps us to keep bringing you more insightful content. Thanks again and see you in the next video.